Or one, let's see here. Questions here. Just a sec. All right, and so this is an AMA, Ask Mike Anything. And I figured I'd do this month just to have fun. Here in my backyard, for those of you wondering. So I'm just starting the first question, and you can just keep them coming underneath the post here. The first question is from Mark Strong. Who says, you've been using Google Glass for some time. How do you think Android Wear Moto 360 will help you? Do you get a must-have? I actually have come out with the call on my computer world tomorrow, and I'm pretty Android Wear. I thought it was not that great. I thought it would be clunky. I thought the same thing that a lot of people thought, which was that I was really focusing on the hardware. I do think that the key thing smart is mainstream is that the hardware has to be awesome, it has to be elegant, and they are neither. Google basically hasn't tackled the core problem, the core constraint with smartwatches, that they look like dorky, conspicuous gadgets for geeks, and for male geeks, by the way, because the real smartwatches, the fitness bands, big, clunky things. They look like this. This is the LG watch. This isn't terrible, but it's not elegant. The Moto 360 is more elegant, but it have become much more elegant for it to become a mainstream. However, my experience in using this in the last 28 hours is that it's really fantastic to have Google Now on your wrist. It's fantastic. It's just the greatest thing to these subtle notifications, and it's not, it's not in an app. Go look at a Chrome thing where you click on the bell. You don't have to do anything. You just sort of zap your wrist with vibration or with a little sound, and you look at it, and there's the notification. So, for example, look at this. Let's see if I can do this. Take it off so I can hold it up to the camera. So this is the notification at the bottom. See that? And when you move it, it sort of lights up. And then when you swipe it up, you get the actual notification. This is telling me about the event that we're doing now. And then you just get rid of it. You get rid of it by just swiping it like that. It's headed backwards. Okay. And so, and then I have another one, a bunch of them. But it's really great. It's, as I'm going to argue in my column tomorrow, it's the first platform I've seen ships with killer app, and the killer app is good now. Even if they didn't ship anything else, the fact that you can talk to the watch, you can say, let me give you an example, it's really great. So, see if you can see that. And by the way, you can do, if you're wearing an Android Wear watch, few commands and it'll happen on your watch. So it's always fun. So, okay, Google. What's the population of Cairo, Egypt? Okay, so I'm getting a disconnected thing on this. This has happened about 3 or 4 times. In fact, it's happened every time I tried to demo it. Demo curse, where it gets disconnected from the phone, and then the demo doesn't work. So anyway, typically it's to get a response, and a typical Google response, coming from the knowledge base or coming from the Wikipedia, and then it has a little icon on it with it's like a rectangle with an arrow on it, and by simply pressing that icon, the result that the icon is on the watch just opens up on the phone without you touching the phone. So it's pretty cool. The only downside with that is if the screen is engaged, then nothing happens because the phone is locked. So, but anyway, the Google Now is just a fantastic app, and I still like Glass, but Glass is in its current a bit of a commitment. You have to sort of psych yourself up to wear it in public because it has become controversial and it's conspicuous. Whereas this thing, nobody will notice or care that you're wearing it. It's invisible to the public. How is that? Android Wear. It's just, as far as anybody's concerned, it's just nobody's going to notice or care, and that's nice. It makes it more personal. It means you can always wear it, which is very, very nice. Okay, so let's see here. Kendall asked me, how am I adjusting after 6 months of staying in one place? There's so much travel. How is the work at Twitch different from what you were doing before? So for those of you who don't know, I have been a freelance opinion columnist for 10 years or something like that, and in the last couple of years, until the end of December of this year, I was nomadic. My wife and I lived in Greece, Spain, Italy, Turkey, Kenya, and we were planning to live in Colombia and eventually both India. I was pretty determined nothing could divert us from the path of being nomads, because it was great. It was hard in the sense that we were living out of essentially a backpack and a that was only that, and so, you had to go with a lot of conveniences and stuff like that. But still great. And then the one thing that could get me to stop doing was when Leo and Lisa offered me the job as news director for Twit, which I couldn't pass up for 3 reasons. The first is that I just have massive respect for Leo and Lisa and what they've built and what they do. I love the medium, netcasting, which I view as somewhere between television and podcasting, and the sort of free-form approach, but with purpose and with substantive content, is just beautiful and perfect as far as I'm concerned for communicating complex things like technology. And so I simply couldn't bring myself to say no to the opportunity. It just, these kind of opportunities come around once in a lifetime. So I could say no. The second reason was that it was Petaluma, which we have always loved in county, because we both love technology, we love the Bay Area, we love the culture in Sonoma, which is very food-oriented. It's farming community, really awesome farming community. And so I always wanted to live in Petaluma, so that was always the plan anyway, to eventually live in Sonoma, South Sonoma, Petaluma. So that was cool. And And the third reason is just the fact that I just, in general, don't to pass up opportunities. I mean, this happened to me when, years ago when I lived in Santa Barbara and I was working for a computer magazine called Magazine. The magazine was acquired by Stamp Media, and I was one of the people to come over and stay with the publication and grow it and turn it into, he was talking about investing a lot into stuff like that. Moving my young children and my wife, and my wife had to quit her job and would have to leave Santa Barbara, California, which is really nice, to go live on an island in New York. At the time, we were very young at the time, and it was, kind of. But we basically said it's an opportunity, it's an adventure. So we went for it and we did it. So this is this thing. This is really an opportunity, an adventure to challenge myself and do something I hadn't done before, really, which is tech new shit. So I'm adjusting. There's a downside not living abroad, and there's an upside, and so it's pretty cool. I'm really happy, and I really love the work and really fun. So Stephen Newton asked me if I got a chance at Google I/O to ask about the possibility of manufacturers upgrading vehicles to Android Auto. I guess is a 2018 Ford Focus, and it's good enough, but he'd love to have integration in his phone instead of this connection that he has, and the answer is no. I didn't know that. That's what I'm making, by the way. Finest is actually Maximus, which is my favorite. Lagunitas here. Edward Frazier asked where the current thing and automation is the next thing, and which company would I like controlling my stuff, and why needs Android. And I actually wrote a piece about this. Not really fair. I've actually thought about this quite a bit, but as everybody, as some people know, actually, I'm really not really involved, and I like both companies. I used a MacBook Pro with Retina, but I was this close to using Chromebook. I've been on the iPhone before, and now I'm on a Moto X, and I'm thinking about going back to the iPhone. So I really like both companies, and some people hate me for that because they want me to choose. But in the case of home automation, I would definitely not on Google, because you really want, this is a space for serious experimentation, for tweaking, for open platforms where you have a lot of innovators contributing to the platforms, and Apple's approach of locking everything down and controlling the platform and being a cop on what's allowed and what isn't allowed is not, in my opinion, right for home automation. I want it to be a kind of a little bit of a Wild West. So current feeling is that I'm rooting for Google and home automation. I didn't use the word home automation in the Google keynote, which by the way, a lot of people talk about the fact that they Google Plus in the keynote. Does that mean that Google Plus is toast? And my response, I've been asked my response to that, but my response to that is that they didn't mention Google Search in the keynote, and that doesn't mean Google Search is dead. They didn't mention the Nexus. They didn't mention Google. They didn't mention other things. And the reason they didn't mention them, I suspect, is that they didn't have anything to say about them. Now, Kundota is a company. They're going to hire somebody to replace Kundota. And when they hire the person, with that person will come a new vision, or a new approach, a new initiative, a new attitude about Google Plus. But until they have the new program and the new direction, I suspect they're just not talking about it. The same goes for some of these other things. I mean, my God, 3-hour keynote was long enough. No need to. It's not the president the address. You have to like give everybody that little shout. So people should freak out about it. I would like to bring people's attention to an article, marketingland.com by Martin Peck. His headline is Larry Page Plus, quote, super excited about quote. And basically what he did was he took quotes Larry Page in an interview that by Farhad Manjoo. By the way, I got a chance to meet in person to Google I/O. It's a very nice guy. And basically he said, Farhad Manjoo said, what's going on with Google Plus? And Larry Page said, quote, there's a lot of things going on with Google Plus. I'm very excited user of it. You saw the demo showing out with Chrome. That's one of the things I'm excited about. The service has been tremendously. People are always like, oh, what's going on? But for us, we're super excited about it. Super excited in one word. Because it's a big service continuously since we launched at a high rate, and we're making it better every day. Anyway, we'll get back to that in a sec. Let me just make sure that I'm hearing complaints that the video is very slow. And next month I'm going to have wide connection. Right when I'm outside. So people see my videos. Yeah, sorry about that. Should I move to another place, or should I keep on? Is this good enough now? Comments. Anyway, so back to this article by Martin Beck. He also asked Page, Farhad Manjoo, if social is as important now as it was 2 years ago. And Larry Page said, yes. If anything, probably more. We have a very excited, dedicated community. People forget that we're able to make services better by understanding your relationships, making sure you're working, understanding things, the deep important things as a company. So Martin Beck turned this into a skeptical thing and said, what do you think? Is it a good pay for the Plus and its loyal users, or were these just stock answers from Page? And then let people win with the cynicism and say, they're just stock answers. I don't know what else Google can say then, like super important to them. I mean, Nathan Botra, very close associated with Google. It's very heavily responsible for what it is, and for the fact that it was very aggressively integrated in any other Google services at the company. We don't know what the circumstances were of that. But, there's no reason for anybody to doubt to Google Plus. Obviously, they need a social network. Obviously, Google Plus is the best social network ever. And although Facebook is a lot more used, it doesn't matter because they're losing users. Google Plus is growing. Facebook is probably shrinking, at least in markets where it's been dominant in the past. And really, the network of attribute networks is dead. It doesn't matter if everybody's on a social network anymore. In fact, people are seeking out social networks where everybody isn't. And so that's why Facebook is buying every little social site and every little messaging site on the planet, because people are, are leaving Facebook because it's a big mass site where you can't have any real conversations because you're you're always up to everybody. So I think that's something to keep in mind. I think it has a brilliant future, and I still love it. And so that's what I think about that. So Charles asks, Mike, headsets like the Moto X and play editions of phones like the GS4 and HTC One available. Where do you think Google will go with the next line of smartphones beyond Nexus 5.5? Hope they need a concept. Hope they extend the concept into other areas. They've obviously sold parts of Moto to Lenovo, so presumably they can refocus on the Nexus. They said they're still committed to the Nexus line, and I like it because I like the experimental aspect where it's easy to take apart, it's easy to tinker with, it's open, literally designed to allow people to tinker with a very googly way to the phone. And I do hope Lenovo continues with the innovation on Motorola. They've been a really great company in that, well, since the Moto X. So, how do I think users will react to Android L once it's fully released to the public this fall? I think that the reaction will be similar to other releases. It will be a very contemporary looking operating system. All the operating systems become better over time, and so it'll. I think the leapfrogging effect where I think iOS is better, and then Android is better, and then iOS is better, and it's hard to compare these things, I think, because they're better in different ways. But I think it will be well received. It looks the new materials language. It looks fantastic, and I'm optimistic about it. I like what they're doing there. One more asks, what advice do you have for someone who start blogging about tech Google Plus and maybe make tech videos on YouTube? My advice is to blog plus videos on YouTube. There's no substitute for doing it. And this is why I'm doing this. Actually, I want to get better at doing the medium. And so I'm going to do these AMAs. I think I'm going to do these AMAs. Just figure out if there's there's something really great here that is working better. Just get their own approach to blogging and to doing videos, and I think the goal should be to find out what your approach is, what your unique approach is. Juan Moreno, do. There's no substitute for doing it. I would recommend that people don't do what I do. I mean, specialize in something. Find out what your passion is. Blog the hell out of it, and videos, vlog of it, and just find your niche. If you look at the really great sources of new content, like I don't know, who would be a good example? Any sort of person. If you look at a great example. Well, I don't want to favor one friend over another, but all the people that really like. If you look at why they're great at what they do, it's because they just put their own thing, and instead of trying to imitate other people, they've pursued their own way of doing things, their own unique way of doing things, and you can't really get good at something unless you do it a gazillion times. And so I would just recommend to do as much as you can. Keep trying to make it better. Keep being critical of yourself and seeing how you can always make it better. And just be authentic, as authentic as you can. That's very difficult. And have high standards, and try to find out what the world needs but isn't getting in terms of content, in terms of opinion, and that sort of thing, and give people what they're not getting, what they do need. So that's my advice. I feel like in dialogue, this sort of like emerged, kind of weird way, starting with email newsletter in the 90s. I think back to the 90s. And I decided that I was going to throw trial balloon stuff using blogging software, and that blog became the thing mostly, and then I moved to another platform, to another one, and ended up with Google Plus. But it's sort of evolved now. Thinking about it as a performance, as like, you know, I'm helping. I tried to stop doing that and instead tried to just kind of have a conversations about things I'm interested in, and start conversations about things I'm interested in. So it works for me, and it's so great to refer back to those things and refer back to the conversations when you're trying to think about related topics. So I would be selfish about it, you know, just do your thing. Don't try to figure out what other people want. Just figure out what you want, what you're interested in. So that would be my advice. So how's my video? The feeling's worse than I think it is. Let's see. There's some. Yeah. Okay, so that's about it. I'm going to do this next month with a much better connection. I actually have a blistering fast connection at my house, but I have house guests right now. The router's in the room where somebody's staying there, so I'm not able to do the connections on my laptop right now. But I will next month and use this super high bandwidth. All right, thank you so much, everyone. And if you have questions for the next one, just go ahead and send them to me. And you know, just I'll we'll take a look at what we got here, and I'll try again next month. And thank you for asking some questions. Talk to you guys.